How's it going, everybody? First things first tonight. Smoking a little. This is a little Sarah L. Tang, little bent brandy, bent eggy shaped pipe there. Kind of a cool little deal though. The stem. Hopefully you can see that the stem's got kind of a little teardrop shape to it. Not the stem, but the shank of the actual stummel there. It's got a little teardrop shape. It's kind of a cool little pipe. Nice little sandblast. And smoking a little Elizabethan mixture, which I actually haven't really. I think I maybe have smoked it once before, a tin of it once before, but it's been a long time. So I grabbed another tin of it recently, and that's what we're smoking. A little bit different video tonight. It's kind of going to be all over the place tonight. I've been more structured with my videos up to this point. So I've got a couple different things I wanted to sort of go over tonight. First things first, shout out and thanks to Parsimonious Piper for the opportunity to talk to him on his channel. That was kind of a cool little deal there. He hit me up and we emailed back and forth a little bit talking about his project he likes to do, talking to, like, I guess, new YouTubers, not necessarily new pipe smokers, but new YouTubers. I haven't seen all of the videos. I've seen a number of them. The ones I had seen seemed like the people were generally newer pipe smokers or more casual, whatever. So that was kind of a cool deal there. Kind of funny too. We talked for maybe 5-10 minutes before the actual conversation started. The part that he posted, and more about, if there's anything you don't want to say, whatever, you don't have to say, that kind of stuff. But then after the actual conversation, the videotape conversation ended. We talked for, we BS for, I'd say probably close to an hour. I don't know. I lost track of time, just about pipes, about tobacco, about YouTube, people. Anything. It was like, I'd never talked to him before, really, and it was like, I just sat down with, some old buddy I just reconnected with after years. It was kind of a cool deal there. Be able to get to talk about pipes, tobacco, things like that, and all kinds of stuff. And he told me he likes Kentucky, and he likes Virginia Periques with Kentucky in them. So, a couple years, maybe a year or two ago, I had someone gifted me without even knowing me, and I'm not going to say his name, but he's well known in the pipe community. I happened to comment on one of his photos of a particular tobacco that I really like, and I just said something along the lines of, you posting this on Instagram is going to make this even harder for me to get. And he actually private messaged me on Instagram and said, we had talked about it a little bit back and forth. He said, give me your address. I'm going to send you a tin. We ended up sending me like a 15-year-old tin of this tobacco. And so I thought that was real cool. But, this particular individual, it's kind of hard to pay it forward to in terms of tobacco, because he just happens to have a lot of access. And no real need for someone to be sending him tobacco. So I kind of made the decision that when I had the opportunity, I'd pay it forward. And Ethan mentioned that I sent him a tin of tobacco. I was able to reach back into my cellar and find about an 8.5-year-old tin of that McConnell Scottish Flake that I thought he'd like. So I sent that over to him. So I hope he enjoys that, and that was kind of fun. I got to be able to pay it forward a little bit, so that was a good deal. So thanks to Ethan slash parsimonious piper for that conversation. Hopefully we get to talk again soon. That was fun. That was a good deal. I like that. Second order of business. Hadn't been paying really that much attention to my subscribers and all that kind of stuff. I try to answer any comments that need answering, or feel if it's just sort of an observation that doesn't really need a comment, I might not comment back. But if it's a question or something more conversational, then I try to comment back. But I wasn't really paying attention to subscribers or anything like that, and lo and behold, I looked the other day and I was over 100 subscribers already, and I think now I'm over 150 or something like that. So I suppose I better say thank you to everybody out there subscribing and watching the videos. I'm glad that I'm helping well, at least I hope I'm helping the community. I hope people are getting something from the videos that I'm making. Actually having a lot of fun doing it. I didn't think, I wasn't sure I was going to have a whole lot of fun doing it, but I actually am. It's been fun. It's been fun to engage in the community, the pipe smoking community, a little bit more actively rather than just watching videos and not really interacting. So for anyone out there that's already subscribed, I appreciate that. I don't really know how to thank you other than just to say thank you. It's kind of putting a little pressure on me. I feel like I maybe need to do like a giveaway or something like that. Maybe not now, but in the future, I don't know. We'll get, whatever the case is, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I suppose. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you guys for that. Anyone that's not subscribed that likes the videos, go ahead and subscribe, and you can always, it's free, and you can always unsubscribe later if you want. But that's kind of a cool deal there. Kind of caught me by surprise. When I first started this thing, I honestly didn't think, I thought it would be one of those things where I'd make a few videos and get about 100 views total and get bored and move on, but that doesn't seem to be the case. People seem to kind of like me or the content or what I'm talking about or whatever the case is. So as long as people are liking it, I'll keep on doing it, I suppose. Which brings me to my next point. I got a little box opening. I haven't ever done a box opening, and it's not really that exciting. It's just tobacco, but I guess I kind of figured out a way to sort of pay back to some subscribers or commenters or anything like that. So on one of my tobacco review videos, I had a guy comment about a couple tobaccos that he was saying, basically, hey, you get a chance, do a review of, this tobacco. Well, as luck would have it, I actually already had reviewed one of the tobaccos that he mentioned, and I pointed into that video. But I hadn't ever tried the other tobacco that he mentioned. So I figured, well, maybe that would be a decent way to pay back to the community. Every couple months or something like that, I'll buy a tobacco. If there's comments, people want to hear something about a certain tobacco, maybe there's not a whole lot of videos on that particular blend or whatever the case is. And if I've got the means and the time, I'll buy it, smoke it, and do a review for it. I'm not big on first impression videos on tobacco. If people do them, fine. If they feel comfortable doing it, that's fine. I don't feel that comfortable doing it. I feel, for me personally, that I like to sort of spend some time with a blend before I want to sit down and have a conversation about it. Because if I put it out there on a video, I'm assuming that people are going to be finding that video because they're curious about that tobacco, and not just in the first impression sense of being curious, more in the, is this something that I actually want to buy, smoke, possibly sell her, put in my rotation, whatever. So I want to be a little bit more familiar with the tobacco and kind of feel out its you know, its whole life cycle a little bit. So if you've noticed, generally I'm smoking at least 2/3 of a tin before I'm, you know, putting a video out on it. So I'm gonna get to this box opening here so you guys can see what I got going on. And oh, by the way, that little knife that I'm using is kind of a little toothpick style knife. Now this one here it's a Western. That's the company name. It's a Western. I believe it's a made in USA knife. Yeah, it's a made in USA. I got a number of these little Westerns. I got a couple cases and case knives, and when they were doing gun shows, and I was going to gun shows regularly around here, you could find these old Westerns, these old case knives. I mean, they pretty much they were pretty common. I just think they're kind of cool, and you know, these kind of cool little things. And I could be wrong, but I feel like that old boy Timber Drifter, he probably likes some old stuff like that. So maybe if he's watching these videos, maybe he'll check that out or something. So like I said, just got a little bit of tobacco here, a little tobacco order. Not nothing crazy. About a couple tins and a couple bulks. I have to put this pipe down. So we're gonna go with the bulks first. So first one, I'll go with the first one. This is the one that an individual asked me to maybe ask for a review on, or maybe he didn't and I just took it that way, or whatever the case is. But it is the Hearth and Home 10 to Midnight. And I know you probably can't see that writing real well, but you just have to trust me, that's what it is. Hearth and Home 10 to Midnight. So I apologize, I forget your name of the individual that was wanting me to review that, but I got an ounce of it, and you know, here in the next few weeks, month, whatever the case is, I will smoke that up and I'll let you know what I think. Do a little review of that. The next one, I've been wanting to try this for a while. I always forget to order. Bulk tobacco. I don't know. I just always remember the tins and forget the bulk. So whatever makes me do that, I hope that goes away. But I've been wanting to try this one for a while, and it's the Hearth and Home AJ's Virginia Perique. Now I've tried I smoked the anniversary cake. Wasn't the biggest fan. I thought it was okay. I smoked the Louisiana Red. Again, thought it was okay. Wasn't the biggest fan. And as a matter of fact, I haven't really found a Virginia Perique bulk that I would put above like my top 5 Virginia Perique or thereabouts tin tobaccos. So maybe this one will find its way in and I'll be able to buy a pound of it. And I think if I was able to find, if it was that good and I found a pound of it, I'd probably end up cellaring it in either 2-ounce or 4-ounce jars, because I like to be able to open that up like years. I don't want to just put a whole half a pound or a pound in a jar and then open up that whole jar. I want to sit some away and wait for my daughter to graduate high school or something like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can get this open. I'm gonna grab my pipe back. But this is the problem with box openers. I just don't really know if I like doing them, because it's kind of unorganized and you're fumbling around with stuff, and I don't know how interesting that is to people, but we'll make it work, I suppose. So. All right, so blend number 1 that I got, and there seems to be a few different blends out there that if I put in a tobacco order and this particular, if I'm just putting in an order because I want to try something, there's a few blends out there that if I see it in stock, I almost always have to buy a tin or two. So one of those is probably no surprise to anybody, but Escudo, right? I always gotta buy a tin or two of Escudo if they're in stock, which seems like it's been pretty decent last few times. So I don't know. I got a couple pounds of Escudo, but that's always good stuff to have around. Second one I'm going to show you is blend by Peterson. Formerly by Dunhill, and that's Deluxe Navy Rolls. This, like Escudo, is, in my opinion, a top tier Virginia Perique. I just love this blend. I loved it when it was Dunhill, and I love it, now it's Peterson. And I mean, I could be talking out of my rear end a little bit, but as far as I know, there is no difference in the Dunhill versus Peterson on any of these blends that Peterson picked up from Dunhill. In fact, as far as I know, they were blended by Dunhill was blended by STG most recently, the last however many years, and STG still produces or is producing the Peterson blends. So in the not only did, as far as I know, not only did the recipes not change, but the actual production house didn't change. And I've seen tons of videos of people comparing Dunhills with the Peterson blends, and it seems like most of the time there's no discernible difference. And with the blends that I've tried, I can't discern a difference in the cut, in the quality, in the flavor, in anything. So I don't know. But when it was Dunhill, I like it. It's Peterson, I like it. If it's a good blend, it's a good blend, and it's a good blend. I like it. So I always that's another one where it's hard for me to not buy at least a tin or two. I got 3 this time when I see it in stock because, that's always going to be good stuff to have around, right? So I'm getting down to the end of this pipe here. Kind of jumped the gun a little bit, started smoking before I was ready to film this. All right. Next tobacco, Robert McConnell, Rich Dark Virginia. I haven't smoked this. I've never tried this. But I thought it sounded interesting, and I figured I'd give it a shot. I only bought 1 tin. I never tried it, and if it's terrible, I don't like it. I don't want 5 tins of it around. But if it's good, I can always buy more. So it says it's a soft, pure black Cavendish tobacco with no added flavors, which pleases the palate with its delicate, unobtrusive aroma. Sweet and gentle, finely nuanced. So whatever there, and it says a soft, pure black Cavendish. I'm assuming this is basically then a pure Virginia tobacco that's gone through the process to make the tobacco a Cavendish. So a Cavendish can be made from a Virginia, can be made from a Burley. You can make a Cavendish out of anything. Cavendish is the process. It speaks more to our process than a particular type of leaf, although the leaf is important. Got one more tobacco, and this tobacco was actually recommended by Parsimonious Pipe Smoker. So Ethan, thank you for that. Just wanted you to know that I was listening to you, and I went out and got a pin, a Firestorm. Now this is blended by Russ Olette. He's done a lot of blending. He's been blending for years, and blended a lot of the tobaccos I think I've talked about tonight. The anniversary cake, I think those are his. I think AJ's Vapor might be his, and don't know. It's hard to keep track of what he does, but I'll give you guys a little tin description on this one. I know I didn't give you any descriptions on the other ones, but I think it's mainly because they don't put them on there. Description on this one: Firestorm is an intriguingly complex blend of especially sweet Virginias and a healthy amount of Perique. A bit of rich Turkish and some fire-cured mahogany Kentucky. Starts off with dark fruit sweetness and a current of cinnamon that builds gradually to become deep peppery in the last half. So I guess we'll try that out and see if the tin description matches my experience, I suppose. But anyway, I don't really know how long this video's been going, and I thought about starting starting timers on this thing, and then I thought, well, kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to have a conversation. In this case, show you some tobaccos I got going, let people know that I am reading the comments, and that if you do want me to try to get my hands on something and smoke it and do a review on it, I will try to do that. If it's available and I got the means, then great. It's hard for me to just buy 1 ounce of tobacco though. So it's like when I say I got the means, like, oh, who doesn't have the means to buy an ounce or 2 of tobacco? Well, generally it's kind of hard. It's like, it's kind of hard to go online shopping for pipe tobacco and only buy a couple ounces. So I got to have the means to buy, 5 or 6 or 8 tins and some other stuff. So that's pretty much the update for now. Like I said, kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. See if people still like listening to me talk about just basically random nothing. And if you do, leave a comment. If you don't, leave a comment, I suppose. And then maybe if I get enough negative comments, I'll just go back to doing my reviews and pipe talks and stuff like that. But I got a lot of respect for Ethan on that front. He does, I think, a video basically every day. And I'm just not sure I can do that. I can do 1 or 2 a week, but where his are 5 to 10 minutes generally, mine might be a little bit longer. So you may hear a little ramble, but that's just, I guess, how it is. Different styles, right? Different strokes for different folks. Other than that, nothing else in the old box here except for, oh, look at that. Looks like there's a little coupon in there or something or other. I don't know. And then oh, that's kind of cool. Little pipes and cigars calendar. Now, I'm already set up with the calendar for next year, but I'll find a place to hang that up. So appreciate that. Pipes and cigars. That's kind of a cool little touch. And for everyone else, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for everyone commenting. Actually, it does really mean a lot. And thanks for all the subscribers. And maybe we'll figure out something to do at some point. Or maybe I'll figure out some sort of a series to do or something. I don't know yet. Maybe my series will be a subscriber or comment based tobacco reviews. Maybe that'll be the series I do. I don't know yet. We're just gonna have to see how it goes, play it out. But till next time, adios.